Hi, Chiefs fans. Hi, how you doing? It's your old pal, Big Herbo, B Herbo. It's your pal, Rod, man. It's a safe space. You can talk to us. I know
Always.
you guys had one of the most embarrassing Super Bowl losses in recent memory. Almost as embarrassing as the last time you had an embarrassing Super Bowl loss, like 4 years ago. But who's counting? Chiefs fans, Chief Kingdom. Come here, come get a big hug. We're your pals. We love you guys. We didn't root against you because we don't like you. We rooted against you because we can't stand y'all. But it's okay now. It's all under the bridge. It's all over. No more 3P. No more GOAT conversations. No more real dynasty. It's okay. It's okay. Don't hate us. We tried to protect y'all feelings. We knew what was going to happen, even though we bet and picked y'all to win. But that's neither here nor there. We did this for you. We rooted against you guys so you could be prepared to be defeated, man. No hard feelings, right, Rod?
None whatsoever. None.
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 We're your buddies at PHIN Outta Water, all right? So this is my olive branch to all of Chiefs Kingdom. Let's call the bygones, man. Let's call the truce, man. I'm here for peace, man. I'm here for peace. I'm here for peace, man. How do you feel, Rod?
Chiefs fans. Listen, man. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I made sure to call suicide watch for all these motherfuckers. I made sure to call last night. I was checking in on y'all, man. I was worried about y'all, man, because let me tell you something, man. A lot of y'all Chiefs fans were talking reckless,
Talking reckless, talking
reckless.
crazy, talking
Man,
crazy, talking crazy. Now, all right, man. We Chiefs, we're just talking shit. All right. We actually, you feel me? It is what it is. It's football. This comes with the territory. I know y'all don't want to see us. I know we're gonna get a bunch of thumbs down, bro. It is what it is. It's par for the course. Our teams, we root for losers, bruh. So come join the misery, dog. Only one team could win every single season. You guys don't have to win the Super Bowl every year. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. You're more than likely gonna be there again. There's more opportunities to win a Super Bowl.
facts.
You've been to five in 7 years since Patrick Mahomes has been a starter. You've only been to the AFC Championship at minimum. It's okay, guys. It's okay.
Eagles
All
have
right.
already appeared, man.
Already-
They're already here, bro.
oh, fuck it, guy. We'll get to you fucking bastards in a second. All right. Don't worry. All right. Disgusting, bro. Okay.
Matty Bank, what you drink?
All right, man.
Woo.
Let's actually recap the game. So, to the people that's in the chat, man, we got some people in the chat, man. Make sure you leave comments. Make sure you participate, bro. It does incredible for the algorithm. We need all the support that we could get, and we love interacting with the homies. So for today's show, Fin Out of Water. We don't need any introductions. If you're somebody new here, if you want in-depth analysis and you want numbers and crunching all that bullshit, go to PFF. I'm sorry. If you want hot takes and a bunch of people yelling all day and arguing, go to ESPN and go to First Take. That's not what we do here. We have honest conversations about what we actually feel about what we watch on the football field. This is Fin Out of Water. That is your introduction to this. Now, with that said, on today's slot, we are talking the halftime show. We are talking who I think is the actual MVP of the Eagles organization. We are having a conversation about why I still think Jalen Hurts is mid. Y'all ain't getting me off of that conversation. You included, Mr. Mason. And we are talking about, we're going to recap the game and all of that stuff, right? So stick around for all of that. However, this is still a football podcast that is Miami Dolphins orientated. So with that said, man, Rod, let's talk some Dolphins, man. First conversation of the day, of the live stream. Talking Dolphins. And the question I have to you, Mr. Rodman, did the Miami Dolphins fumble the great Vic Fangio? The floor is yours, sir.
Well, Herbie, I will preface what I'm going to say with just this simple statement. Vic was right. Vic was right. He was right to leave the Miami Dolphins and to go to an actual winning culture. Now, I know this may not be popular amongst my fellow Dolphin fans, but we got to be honest here. You look at what he was able to accomplish with the talent that the Eagles had, and it's not like the Dolphins didn't have talent, but you look at the way the Eagles have been able to construct their team, and you look at the impact that some of their rookies, Herbie Mitchell is a fucking baller, Cooper DeJean a fucking baller, Jalen Carter a young player, like what they've been able to do with the talent that they have, Herbie, and with Vic Fangio coming in, installing his defense, you see exactly the vision that Vic Fangio actually had for the type of defense he wanted to run. And Herbie, a part of that kind of thing is culture, right? And I want to bring up some comments that Teron Armstead made earlier, I think last week, in regards to Mike McDaniel. I don't have like the exact verbatim comments, but essentially he was indicting Mike McDaniel. He spoke about the Dolphins having the right amount of talent. Like the guys in the locker room, they feel like they have what they need, but they're missing in key situations, situational football. And Herbie, when you talk about situational football, that falls on the coach, right? And look, at the end of the day, Herbie, Vic Fangio, he had a pedigree before he came to Miami, and he has proven exactly what that is going to Philly, taking what they have with their talent. People have to remember, Herbie, last season, the Philadelphia Eagles had they had a bottom 6-7 defense. Okay, they ranked in 26th and 30th in the past. And Herbie, they were not a good defense last year. Now, they drafted some players. They brought in a coach that knew how to utilize that talent, and you see the results, Herbie. One of the greatest defensive performances we've ever seen in a Super Bowl. And he's the coach behind that, right? We spoke ad nauseum about Steve Spagnuolo and how he's one of the all-time great coordinators, and it's been proven time after time after time, right? He stifled Tom Brady. He was able to stifle Josh Allen in the AFC Championship game. Like, we've seen him stifle Lamar. Like, we've seen great game plans from Spags with the defensive players that they have. But Herbie, Vic Fangio, what he was able to do with all these young players, Herbie, to give them that confidence, to allow them to just be free. Zach Bond, like all these guys, Josh Sweat, all these guys, Herbie. And you still have veterans like Brandon Graham still making fucking plays. And Vic Fangio listen, the coach's job, Herbie, when they talk about scheme, the coach's job is to put the players in the best position to win. And Vic Fangio felt like he couldn't do that here, Herbie. Vic Fangio came to Miami. He delved into nightlife, you know what I'm saying? Probably went to some strip club. He probably had like a little stripper bit out here, you know what I'm saying? He probably had like a little stripper he was messing with. And, you know, once that went awry, he was like, man, let me get the hell out. Let me go up north, you know what I'm saying? Let me get focused. Because he clearly wasn't focused down here, Herbie, because there were so many times I saw this Miami Dolphins Vic Fangio defense completely falter, okay? Josh Allen dropped 48 on the Vic Fangio defense in Miami. Lamar Jackson with the Ravens before Derrick Henry dropped 50 burger on us, okay, with Vic Fangio as our coordinator. So when he came here, he didn't do the job, but a part of that is probably not even all on him when it comes to that regard. The culture, that's where it starts. It starts with the head coach. Hell, you could even say it starts with the owner, right? But in this particular scenario, Herbie, the head coach does not have a culture that is befitting of winning football, Herbie, and it starts with the coach and the GM because you look at the talent too.
Yeah, and to piggyback on what you're saying in regards to coaching, right? So I went and did some research because I'm like, dog, for whatever reason, I've never heard a bad word about Vic Fangio. I know that he's hard to deal with sometimes. He's from Pennsylvania, bro. That's just in his nature. That's how they are up there, the upper East Coast or whatnot. But nobody's ever said a bad word about him, right? When he was with the Broncos, he was beloved. When he was with the Chargers, he was beloved. When he took the job as an assistant with the Eagles, they really liked him before he went to the Dolphins. And only the Dolphins seemed to hate the nigga, bro. Like, it was only them. And now I understand why. I understand why he had issues in that regime. I understand why he had issues down in South Beach. Because he ain't like them dudes, how they got down, bro. He didn't like the players, and he didn't like the coaches. Because one of the things that he didn't like was that they didn't practice and pass. He likes to hit. And that's a lost art in football that's going on right now.
Facts.
You see all this poor tackling, you see all these bad angles taken, you see all these people that don't know how to wrap up, and because they're not practicing in pads. If you're not tackling in practice, how are you going to tackle in a real game? The best teams that tackle, the Lions, they practice in pads. The Chiefs, they practice in pads. The Eagles, the number one defense of football, they practice in pads. They practice hitting people. They hit each other. I get it. This relaxed. The football is a grueling sport. They've added a game. They're trying to add another week to this. It's a game of attrition, I should say. The Lions lost 50% of their roster. I get it. However, on the flip side, you are teaching fundamentals and you're teaching toughness. At the end of the day, the Miami Dolphins lack toughness, mental toughness, not physical toughness, mental toughness. Mm-hmm. And it showed by how they rejected somebody who was obviously good at his job. Javon Holland was a all-pro under Vic Fangio. Now he's not even going to be a starter anymore when he left. And they couldn't wait to see that dude leave. Why? Because maybe he was holding you guys accountable? Because maybe he wasn't holding y'all hand? Because maybe he wasn't nice to y'all? I mean, hey man,
it's such a shame, Herbie.
I'm trying to get better at football, bro. We don't gotta go bowling, dog. Are you making me a better football player? That's it. Bottom line. That's all I need to know.
And
are you putting him in position? Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, right?
No, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you just said something that struck me, Herbie. It's just like, Herbie, I can't stand the fact that we live in this fucking weird participation trophy era of, hey, you got to be nice to people. And Herbie, I get it. You shouldn't. It should just be common knowledge not to discriminate and do shit like that. But Herbie, in a game of football where you're teaching grown men how to hurt other grown men, you gotta be, Herbie. You can't need pats on the back. Like you need that hard nose. You need somebody to be. Shout out to Garuda. You know what I'm saying? That Vic Fangio is pretty good. You're damn right he's pretty good. You're damn right he's pretty good. He was just the orchestrator of one of the greatest defensive performances we have seen in a Super Bowl. Okay, like that is a fact, and we had that on our team. And you know what we did with that? Nothing, because what he believes in, Herbie, who he is, his essence did not match the essence of the team. And whenever that happens, Herbie, you get the result, Herbie. You get a defense that gives up 48 points. Herbie, the same coordinator of a defense that gave up 48 points and 56 points in the same season just went on and just put on a masterclass as a defensive coordinator for an entire season, his first year with Philly.
First year. So, I mean, we can leave on that note. Trust me, there's so much. I'll tell anybody, man, if you're actually interested, the AP did a bunch of stories on what happened. There was clashing with coaches. There was too many chefs in the kitchen. He couldn't get out of South Beach, man. He wasn't with the bullshit, bro.
And I respect that, Herbie.
I respect
you know what, Herbie?
Man.
I said fuck Vic Fangio before. I renege on that, Herbie, because it's not. I realized it was us. It wasn't him. It was the Dolphins. It wasn't him.
And I'll say this though. I will say this. He always had one foot out of the door, and I think that made situations that definitely played a part, because if you feel like somebody that doesn't actually want to be there and he's going to act like it. So I'll be fair to the players and the organization in that regard. He always wanted to be for the Eagles, right? He thought he was going to get the Eagle defensive coordinator job. It went to Jonathan Gannon. The opportunity arose. He's seen it. So you knew what was going to happen. However, he was trying to make a lot of dudes better. And again, I wasn't in the locker room. I wasn't there. But I know that the defense did not get better with Vic Fangio not the president. So we'll leave on that note. All right, man. Let's actually get into the game, man. Let's recap, man. Beat them down. Beat them down. This is one of the fakest scores in Super Bowl history, bro. This is 40-6. I'm not giving them that 22. That
it
bullshit.
Is not indicative of what actually how the game went.
It is. The game was 40-6. All right, that's it. The real score, the real points was 40-6. Chiefs, if you have any pride as a competitor, you are not trying to claim that 22 points. You're not going to try. And Patrick Mahomes is shameless for out here stat padding in a blowout. Like, dog, you could have blew your fucking ACL. Like, take your ass on the bench, dog. Like, that was shameless. That was nasty, nasty work.
Nasty work.
You trying to pass that in a Super Bowl, dog? And you gonna hide behind? Oh, this is we could come back. Stop it, bro. They put their backups in, dog.
Pat had that winning delusion, Herbie. He
And
didn't
what winning
believe what
delusion?
happened.
No, man. Listen, no. Pat is an all-time great. Pat is the second greatest quarterback of all time. Pat is the most talented quarterback of all time. Pat has the highest peak that I've ever seen a quarterback have. All of these things are true. But you also know what Pat is? Pat is smart. He understands that nobody is actually going to dig into the game. People are going to just say, what did he do? 20, 30 years from now, they're going to say, damn, Pat had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns a game against the Eagles? He wasn't that bad. No.
You had to see it.
You had to be there. And he knows that because that's how sports work. The farther you get removed from a game, the farther you get removed from the facts, you can disillusion the truth. He knows that it was important to get some yards in that game. He's not stupid. There was no reason for Pat Mahomes to be out there with the starters when the backups for the Eagles were out there. When the backups go in, your backups go in, all right? That should be the rule. That's the unwritten rule of football in sports and competition. That was nasty, all right? That was nasty what Pat Mahomes did. That's what nasty what the Chiefs did, dog, to try to make the score look better than it actually was. Nasty work. However, I'm going to let you take the floor. I don't really have anything to say about the game just because everybody's seen what happened. But I know that you had particular thoughts and that you wanted to get off, bro. So what was your assessment of the game? How did you feel about the game? Matter of fact, fuck it, bro. Take me through your day, man. How was your Super Bowl, man? How was your Super Bowl Sunday, man?
My Super Bowl Sunday, listen, Herbert, my Super Bowl Sunday was good, man. You know what I'm saying? I went to the gym. I cooked breakfast for the ladies at the house. You know what I'm saying? Myself, obviously. You know what I'm saying? It was a good, chill day in preparation, obviously. When it comes down to it, Herbert, because I didn't go out for the Super Bowl. I decided to stay in, man. That's how old I am now, bro. Where I don't even care to go out for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was.
Completely wild.
Fresh laundry, my boy. Wild. Sure.
But, Herbie, if I were to describe how this Super Bowl made me feel in 5 words, I would probably go, what the fuck was that? Herbie. Herbie, I don't think people understand like what we were in for, right? Because listen, to start the game, there was a bad offensive pass interference call on AJ Brown. Like I thought it was a tick-tack call. You know, I started thinking about like all like JPS and all the fans who were talking about the rest and stuff, and I'm just like, oh boy, the rest better be careful. Herbie, after that moment, that thought went out the freaking window. Herbie, the Eagles. It's funny, Herbie, because I'm going to say that the Eagles blitzed the Kansas City Chiefs, and they never blitzed them.
Never blitzed them.
Never blitzed them technically in the game, but they blitzed them in terms of they completely overwhelmed them, Herbie. Herbie, it's very rare that you see an all-time great quarterback and an all-time great coach look flustered. And it's very rare. And this was one of the games, Herbie, and this might sound a little odd, but I thought this was one of the rare times where the moment looked too big for the Chiefs because they didn't expect what was coming to them, Herbie. And this is something that I understand about psychological warfare. You can't go into a battle already thinking about defeat. And what I mean by that is, Herbie, the Chiefs went into the game knowing in their mind, believing they couldn't run the ball. Herbie, you're going up against one of the most ferocious D-lines in probably NFL history, honestly, just by the way they performed this postseason alone. You go with one of the best secondaries, a young secondary, a great linebacker heading a linebacker core, just an overall great defense, Herbie. And what do? You just abandon the run entirely. You just say, you know what? We know we can't run on y'all, so we're just going to just put it all on Pat. And mind you, Herbie.
But I'll say this. The entire season, the running game was the short passing game for the Chiefs, right? So in that regard, they were doing what they doing what they always do. Pat Mahomes led the league in behind it. Outside of what's the dude? The dude for the Broncos.
Bo Nix.
Outside of Bo Nix, bro, the Chiefs are one of the highest teams that pass behind the line of scrimmage. Their short passes is their running game, right? But the difference is that they went against a team that was incredibly fast, dog. Mm-hmm. So there was one play, right, where, and this was a play where they didn't even get pressure. It was a coverage sack. Pat Mahomes was trying to figure out how I could go deep, and he wanted to hit Xavier Worthy on a pass on a post route, and Quinyon Mitchell was on that dude's hip, like he stole something, dog. Like that man was on his ass, like he said something about his mama, dog. Like these dudes were geeked up, man. Like sometimes it don't matter what the game plan is. You can't. Sometimes you just get punched in the mouth, dog. Like the bully got bullied, man.
Bro, Herbie, the bully got bullied 100% completely. And here's the kicker, right? When you look at how Herbie, and I know, people have seen these stats, but to me, it's just, you got to marvel at this. Like, people have to understand. Patrick Mahomes is considered already. This was the Super Bowl that if he won, he was going to start entering serious comparison to Brady. Obviously, we're going to get into the conversation about where it is now. But like he was on the cusp of being like, okay, like we could have a conversation because he has this. Herbie, the Eagles came and said, man, get the fuck, nigga, man, sit your ass down. Sit that shit down. Herbie, like to have 6 sacks, to pressure Mahomes on 50% of his dropbacks, to have 11 quarterback hits, Herbie, and not blitz once?
Unheard of.
Herbie.
Insane.
Herbie, do people understand that in the 6 instances in NFL history where a defense did not blitz, the teams won? You want to know why? Because this is something that no quarterback, no matter how great, not even Tom Brady, could overcome, Herbie. If you got 4 guys that can raise hell and you drop 7 back, Herbie, it's hard for any quarterback to overcome that. We witnessed that. Granted, it took a miracle helmet catch by Eli Manning and the Giants to beat Brady, but that defense, particularly that D line, held them to 14 points. They bastardized them all day, and that's exactly what the Philly Eagles did to Mahomes. Herbie, Mahomes, for the first time in a long time, not since the previous Super Bowl where they lost and he looked like this. Herbie, Mahomes looked shaky. Mahomes looked like he was running for his life, bro. And not only that, Herbie, you got to add that it wasn't even just the fact that the defensive line was so dominant. Mind you, the Chiefs have 2-3 All-Pros on their offensive line, so it's not like they have a bad O-line.
Multiple All-Pros.
Multiple All-Pros. Herbie.
Offensive line.
It was the defense. It was the coverage too. So not only do you have no time to throw, not only do you have no pocket, but when you look downfield, nobody's open. Like at that point, Herbie, some people could say, oh, he played bad, he lost the game. Herbie, the one thing I believe and understand about sports and football especially, there are times where a quarterback can just play bad and you can just be like, bro, this nigga just ass. But there are times where the team on the other side forced you to look like shit.
Yeah, force the issue.
Bro, Herbie, I'll tell you like this. I don't know what other quarterback, what other quarterback in NFL history is going to, compared to how they played against the Chiefs that day, who was gonna stop that defense?
All right. Spoiler alert. I will say that, but we'll save that for the GOAT conversation in the Tom Brady comparison, right? And because that what you're talking about right now, it speaks to something that I noticed, which is Mahomes, this loss is going to make it harder, right? So before we get to that point, matter of fact, this is what we do, because we get criticized for never talking about the winning team and never giving people credit. Right? These fucking fan bases, they can't get, they don't know what the fuck they want, right? So let's talk about the Eagles side and let's give them their proper flowers, because the defense obviously is going to be the star of the show. It should be the star, right? But the offense had to do what the offense did too. The defense didn't score 40 points. They scored 7. The other 33 came on offense, right? Like,
right.
What about the offense from the Eagles that you saw was like, damn, bro? What was the thing that impressed you the most about the Eagles offense?
Well, Herbie, on the previous show when we talked about the Eagles, JPS, John Paul Smith, shout out to him. He brought up like one of the props that Saquon not to score. And I remember me specifically because me, I don't hide, Herbie. I don't hide. What I said is what I said. I said, man, if Saquon don't score, they don't win. Yeah, right.
It's insane.
Yeah, right. Herbie,
it's insane.
One thing that we spoke about, like throughout, especially this entire postseason, because we kind of didn't speak about the Eagles too much during the season, right? They were just quietly winning, doing their thing. But Herbie, you look at, we're gonna have the conversation on Jalen Hurts, right? He won Super Bowl MVP. All right, it is what it is. He's a champion. I ain't gonna take anything away from him, but I'm gonna be honest with you, Herbie. I don't think I've ever seen a quarterback have an easier time winning a championship.
Dog, all right, fuck it. I was trying to give them grace. Fuck them. All right. I don't even want to talk about them for real, the positive light. Fuck them. You got another Super Bowl. Congratulations, you pieces of shit. All right, let's get busy, man. Fuck the bullshit. I'm trying to I couldn't contain this fake humbleness for these bastards, bro. Let's get into it, man. All right.
Let's get
All
into
right.
it.
All right.
Let's get into it, Herbie. Go ahead, man. Cook.
The most annoying thing about this game is that it made sense. Like, everybody knew. Nobody was wrong. Nobody was wrong. Everybody knew going into the game what team was clearly superior, what team was clearly more talented, what team overall should win. It was always the Eagles. Why? Because they put together one of the most talented rosters that we have ever seen post free agency.
Facts.
I'm going to say this. Y'all are not going to bully me into thinking opposite, or thinking otherwise, dog. Jalen Hurts is still mid, bro. I don't care what he do.
He went
I don't care what he do. He's mid, Rod. He's mid, Eagles fans. He's mid, fly Eagles, fly Philly Nation. Fuck out of here, man. I don't want to hear that shit. I want to hear this shit. It took the greatest offensive line that we've seen since the 90s Cowboys. It took one of the greatest defensive lines we have ever seen, period. It took multiple, at minimum, Pro Bowl caliber defensive backs. It took C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cooper DeJean, Zach Braun, fucking Cooper, Quinyon Mitchell. You feel me? It took a top 5 wide receiver. It took arguably the second or third best number 2 receiver in the fucking league. He is not on the team, on his own offense. Might be the 8th best player on his own offense. He ain't better than Lane Johnson. He ain't better than Nico Malata. Nope. He's not better than A.J. Brown. He's not better than Devontae Smith. He's definitely not better than Saquon. Hey, what are we doing? What did I learn about Jalen Hurts? Jalen Hurts could win a Super Bowl with the most talented roster I've ever seen in my life. Okay. Congratulations, Joe Flacco. Fuck out of here, man.
You know what's funny, Herbie? That was it's messed up, but that was the comparison I thought about with Jalen Hurts, Herbie. Like because here's the thing, I had one of my coworkers, right? Like he was like before the Super Bowl, he was like, yeah, the Eagles gonna win. He was just like, oh man, he's like, Jalen Hurts, man, he's dope. I said, because he doesn't watch football as much as we do, right? He watches football mostly. He doesn't really watch American football. So I had to explain to him. I said, look, Jalen Hurts, he's not bad. He's not bad. He's a good quarterback.
Definitely not bad. He's a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback, but he is the beneficiary of, like, Herbie, there is no quarterback, because here's the thing, Herbie, it's one thing to have the best offensive line, the best running back, the best defense, all of that. But for all them, for everybody to be
at
healthy,
the same time, to be healthy,
everybody to be healthy.
They had 6 people that did not play. None of them were actually hurt. They were healthy scratches. The whole team was healthy. The whole team.
That never happens. Like for Herbie, at the end of the day, Herbie, you could make the case. You could make the case in a lot of seasons that the healthiest team is going to win. Because like we always say, that the league is a war of attrition, right? It's a physical game. Guys get hurt. It's just hard to have a healthy team. I've seen the Dolphins fall apart year after year after year, even when our teams look decent, because injuries just completely just take us apart. And you see this with multiple football teams. Look at the Detroit Lions, Herbie. This was supposed to be the Lions' year, right? And it was looking like it was going to be their year, and then they literally lost
50%,
their whole starting defense.
50% of their team ended up on IR this season.
Yes.
50%.
Yes.
They literally had dudes that were off the street starting in games, dog, the next week. They didn't have any bodies. They ran out of bodies. They started with 52 dudes. They did not finish with 52 dudes. They finished with dudes that they didn't even know if their key cards could work, bro. HR had to let them in the building, bro. Like, that's what happened to the Lions. That did not happen to the Eagles. So not only did the Eagles get the talent, they had the health. They had an incomplete team, right? And I say all that to say this. 2 things can be true. And I said it. I already said it, but I'm going to repeat it for emphasis. Jalen Hurts is good enough to win you a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts needs the most talented team I've probably ever seen in my life to win a Super Bowl. Two things could be true. It happened at the same time. The reason why he's good enough to win you a Super Bowl is because the last time they made the Super Bowl, he was the best player. He was the best player on his team. That was one season. The rest of his career, he's been a liability. The one time he got pressured in the Super Bowl, the nigga threw a pick. He just threw up for grabs.
Yeah, that was the one mistake he had. That was the one mistake he had.
Because that's the one time, like you said, when they forced the issue, when they forced the mistake, when they forced it out of him. You see what happens when he's put in an not comfortable situation. The man's throwing the ball 25 yards behind his receiver. Again, guys, y'all want to come at me. Y'all want to get mad at me. His wide receiver had to read a mental health book to keep him from punching him in the mouth. His wide receiver went crazy trying to pretend that they were cool. His wide receiver needed therapy because he got tired of fake the funk, man. But y'all mad at me, though. All right, bro. Listen. Wait. I gotta get. When have you ever seen Devontae Smith say anything bad or have any negative to say about anybody? This man kikiing with AJ Brown, like, man, this nigga ass, man. I'm tired of this nigga. I'm tired of this man, bro. Like, but y'all want to get mad at me though. Yeah, okay, all right, you got it, bro. You got it, dog. What you saying, Rod?
No, Herbie, it's like, look, I know the Eagles fans are gonna come on here and they're gonna say, man, you hating on Jalen Hurts. And look, y'all have to understand, like, this is just my perspective watching it as an objective football fan, because Herbie is a Cowboys fan. Like, I know this is Fin Out of Water. I'm the Fin Out of Water. Herbie is a Cowboys fan, so obviously he's gonna feel this way about the Eagles. But let me tell you something about Jalen Hurts. There is something to be said about a quarterback. Like, I just feel like watching the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts made plays. I'm not trying to take away anything he did.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He won the Super Bowl
plays.
MVP. Like, they're gonna give the award to somebody,
and he deserved it. If he had the stats, he put up 3 touchdowns. I am not taking none of that away. Again, it doesn't look like that, because if you don't say he's a top 5 quarterback, anything else under that is an insult. It's disrespect. But I have no reason to hate Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, outside of that disgusting Eagles uniform, is the beacon. He is a role model. He is, if I had a son, I would say this is who I want my son to be. He is a black man that minds his business and don't say shit and goes home and kiss his wife. That's it, or his fiance. So this is not personal, dog. Me saying that he's mid is not an attack on him, the person, right? Like, but he's mid. That's okay. Mid just means middle of the pack, mediocre. How many quarterbacks could I put in his position would win a Super Bowl? Justin Herbert, who I despise, I think would win a Super Bowl with that Eagles roster, bro.
You know what, Herbie? That's probably
Jaden Dan. Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry to cut you off, but let's just go through the list, right? Let's go through the list, right? Where's the line of demarcation, bro? And you filibuster while I get the starting quarterbacks, because we're going to get to the bottom.
No,
of this shit,
I mean, Herbie, I could tell you right now. I mean, there are probably 20 different starting quarterbacks in my head that you could plug into the Eagles, and they're still great, right? Like it's like, because here's the thing, Herbie, the degree of difficulty for Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl was not high. It just wasn't high because majority of the time he was protected. His receivers were getting open. He made the throws he needed to make, Herbie, and that's one thing. That's one thing I can't take away from a guy, because he could miss those throws. He could throw a bunch of picks. He could play badly.
He could read the defense wrongly. He could put, like, the pass to Dotson. He checked out of that. That was him. He saw the coverage. He said, "Hey, we're gonna do this instead." He made a play. Cool. Every quarterback can do that, man. Unless you're Zach Wilson, dog. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Listen, this. Brock Purdy can do it too, Matt. All right. Hey,
oh man.
If I put Brock Purdy on the 'Are they worse or better? Maybe they're worse, because Jalen has a higher ceiling. Okay, you got Brock Purdy. If Brock Purdy is the guy that you got to come for, bro, you proving my point, man.
Here's what Herbie. This is the nicest thing I can say about Jalen Hurts, and I can only say it now because he's won a championship, and it's even saying it is kind of tough. But I have to be honest with myself. You could speak on his intangibles, like
Absolutely.
you can speak on his intangibles, like Jalen Hurts. At the end of the day, there are a bunch of quarterbacks I can see in his position winning with this Eagles team, but would they not have like he was ready for the moment, Herbie, and that's half the battle. That's half the battle, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this in fairness to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts got benched in a national champion game for Tua Tagovailoa. Most people would go left and completely just flutter out and don't even make the NFL. What did he do? He made himself a good quarterback. Because at that point, he wasn't even draftable. He was not going to be drafted. If he did get drafted, it might have been in the 4th or 5th round. He made himself a professional quarterback. He went to Oklahoma. He won a Heisman. Or I don't know if he won a Heisman, but he put himself in that position to go from somebody not being able to finish a national championship game and got benched for a freshman, or a redshirt freshman, whatever he was. It didn't matter. He still got benched in a national championship game. The fact that he had the mental toughness to fight through that, go to another school, make himself a much better quarterback, get drafted in the 2nd round, fight and compete for the starting job against a guy who was going to win MVP if he didn't blow out his ACL in Carson Wentz, and then go to a Super Bowl, be the best player in that Super Bowl, lose, have the mental toughness to get back into the Super Bowl and win it. He deserves all the flowers for all that, bro. I could acknowledge all of that and still think he's mid. It's cool, man. Like it's cool, dog. Like it's cool. It's cool, man. But just for the fuck of it, Rod, I got the list up right now, bro. So these are the people that we're not even going to talk about: Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. We're not even going to mention them. So they're done. All right, so I'm going to throw out a name for you, bro. Rod, Justin Herbert, win or not win with this roster?
Win.
I'm going to save this person for last, bro. Jared Goff, win or don't win with this roster?
He could win, but with Jared, sometimes you worry about it. He could be Jared Goof. But he could be Jared Goof, but he'll win.
All right.
He can win.
Matt Stafford.
You should have skipped him.
Okay, you're right. We should have skipped him. That wasn't fair to him. Geno Smith.
Geno could win.
Okay, all right. All right, this is where it gets. All right, Jordan Love.
Nah. Jordan Love for sure. I think he could win with this roster.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker could win.
Kyler Murray.
No, just because no matter how much talent he has around him, Call of Duty is still his first love, man. So Kyler Murray's just good.
I got two last ones, bro. Derek Carr.
Ooh. Damn, Jalen Hurts is better than him. I don't think.
Okay, fair enough. No, fair enough. Absolutely. And then last but not least, Dak Prescott.
I'm not sure, man. I don't know.
Hey, you know how I feel about Dak. You ain't saying shit to me.
You know what it is,
about him.
The only reason I'm thinking is because when Dak had a great roster around him, he looked really good, like when he was a rookie and shit like that.
Until he got to the playoffs, and this is where I'll be fair to Jalen.
Intangibles.
Dak is intangibles. Dak a loser, man. Hey, fuck all that. He's just a loser, man. Dak's a loser. That dude's a loser. Like, he's a loser. Like, off the bat, he's a loser. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that about Jalen Hurts, bro. I cannot say that. As much as I hate that dude, I can't say that about him. That guy loser. Get out of here, man. Hey, listen, man. I'm doing y'all how my daughter do me, man. Thumbs down, man. Get out of here, man. All right, man. Matter of fact, let me get back to you, Box Taja. Rare dub take for Skip Bayless on Jalen Hurts. I forgot I seen what he said, but I gotta look that up. All right, and then we got this comment right here, man. Jalen Hurts broke the curse. Jalen Hurts is the first QB since John Elway to win a Super Bowl after losing a Super Bowl in their first appearance. I ain't know that, man. I didn't know that.
Oh, shout out. Hey, man, thanks for that tidbit, Box Taja, man. Appreciate you.
Nah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you
Appreciate
so much, man.
Thank
Listen, like I said, man, if this is your first time here, this is what we do. We just have honest football conversation. Hit the like, make sure you subscribe. We live stream all the time, and we love highlighting the community. So leave as much comments as you want, man. Okay, now it takes, and this actually leads me into my next point, right? Because this is the person I actually want to highlight for the success of the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And this is the person that I'm actually envious of. This is the person that I wish was on the Dallas Cowboys. This is the person that you should wish was on the Miami Dolphins, Rod. His name is Howie Roseman. And Howie Roseman is a better man than me. The journey that Howie Roseman has had going from the prodigy GM, like when he started, he was one of the youngest GMs ever at the time, to being backdoored by Chip Kelly, losing favor with Jeffrey Lurie, having to survive Chip Kelly, who basically bitched him, took his job, and then emasculated him and basically left him out to cold. Like, if you know what happened when Jeffrey Lurie had the bright idea to hire Chip Kelly and take Howie Roseman and force him to basically have a fake position, just some imaginary assistant GM bullshit ass title, and Howie Roseman, instead of doing what I would have done, and that's the difference why I'm sitting there where I'm at and he's where he's at. If I was him, I'd have said, fuck you, Jeffrey. Fuck this bitch ass motherfucker. Fuck the Eagles. Fuck Philadelphia. I'm out. Howie didn't do that. Howie had the patience, the discipline, and he had the intelligence to see everything for what it was. He knew Chip Kelly was going to bust. He knew that all I had to do was ride this out. He knew that Jeffrey Lurie would have the coming to Jesus moment and realize I'm actually the man for this job. And all this man has done since has put 3 separate Super Bowl contending teams with 3 separate rosters. How?
Incredible, bro. It's incredible, bro. Like that. It's a dream. That's what you wanted. He's the Sam Presti of the NFL, Herbie. That's what he is. He's just, bro. To be that adept at being able to acquire talent, whether it's through free agency or through the draft, even though in particular through the draft, because obviously this man his eye for talent is impeccable. And Herbie, think about this, man. To your point that you made in the previous segment, he built a team that's so great that you could plug in an Alabama quarterback and win. That's like Herbie. Howie Roseman is such a talented GM. He brought Alabama to the NFL, Herbie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Think
Alabama,
about it.
yeah, Alabama and Georgia.
That's what he did. He brought that level of disparity in talent. Herbie, the NFL is a league that prides itself in the fact that all these teams have very similar talent. It's oftentimes coaching. It's oftentimes situational football. It's the little things. It's the 1, 2, 3 plays that make or break a game that often separate a team. Herbie, these niggas just went to a Super Bowl and a championship game and routed their opponents. Completely routed. It wasn't even a chance.
In their last 2 games, they put up 95 points in a conference championship game and in a Super Bowl. You're supposed to play the best team in your conference in a conference championship game, and you're supposed to play the best team on the other conference in a Super Bowl. And they blew them both out, beat them both down because of Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman, in my opinion, was the actual Super Bowl MVP. They have a all-pro on their offensive line who was playing rugby a couple years ago, man. They drafted a rugby player in the 7th round, and now he's an all-pro offensive lineman. What? Like, this ain't fair, man.
It's not.
It's not fair.
It's not, man.
They turned Mekhi Becton from a bust into an all-pro guard. He sees what you don't see. He knows how to move the chessboards, the pieces on the chessboard. Y'all are literally playing chess, and y'all are playing checkers. He's playing chess. He's doing rook 9 to g5 to xi, whatever the fuck chess talk is, dog. That's what he's doing. And he's done it multiple times. It's one thing to get a team that's good enough to be a Super Bowl contender once. Doing it twice is unheard of. Doing it 3 times with 2 separate coaching staffs, with 2 separate quarterbacks, with 2 completely different rosters. I think the only person from the 2017 team that won a Super Bowl, whatever year it was, is Brandon Graham.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Crazy, bro.
It's a completely different roster. And Brandon Graham could have went somewhere. He begged to stay. He took a pay cut to stay because he believed in the process. Trust the process, but not for the Sixers. It actually meant for the Eagles.
Wrong Philly team.
Wrong Philly team. Wrong Philly team. Trust the process. The fucking Eagles need to fucking trademark that shit. That is the team that it actually belongs to. Trust the process. Trust Howie. All of this could have went awry if Howie decided to leave in 2015 when they hired Chip Kelly. And Chip Kelly said, I need to have full control of the roster. Chip Kelly flamed out in a year and a half. He got rid of all of Chip Kelly's guys, the D'Amico Ryans, all of those dudes. Got rid of all of them. Started from scratch. Chip Kelly got fired in 2016. I think they were in the Super Bowl a year later. Huh? What?
Hungry Howie, Herbie. That's what I'm calling him.
If Howie called my phone, I'm hanging up. Because I know you getting the best of me, bruh. I'm hanging up in that fucking room, man. Hey, get out of here, man. But no, I just wanted to highlight Howie Roseman, bro, because he deserves all his flowers. Like, he is incredible. And this, to me, is his crowning jewel. Like, this one right here is his crowning jewel. The amount of talent that they have, the A.J. Brown trade, drafting Devontae Smith when you didn't even need Devontae Smith, getting all of these offensive linemen, like building defensive line, getting Jalen Carter, getting Jordan Davis, getting Zach Braun, who was a journeyman. Now he's an all-pro linebacker.
Unbelievable.
Seeing it. It's so annoying, bro. Oh, Herbie never say Chip Kelly to an Eagles fan.
Yeah. Appreciate it, man. That's hilarious.
Hey, listen, we hate him too, man. We hate him too, man. All right, one more thing, and then we'll get into the Kendrick Lamar halftime show, and then close out or have any closing thoughts. But to bring us back to the Chiefs side, man. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like the Eagles. I did not root for the Eagles. I don't root for the Eagles. But I had to put bygones to the side. I had to swallow my morals as a Cowboys fan and root and be in lockstep with the enemy. And I haven't really been honest why I was rooting against the Chiefs, why I did not want the Chiefs to win, why I would rather see the Eagles win versus the Chiefs. And today, I was vindicated. Everything that I thought was going to happen if the Eagles won happened. I was cool with seeing the Eagles win as a Cowboys fan, NFC East fan. I already seen it. I'm cool with that. What I could not deal with is if the Chiefs won, primarily because I don't like that they are trying to manufacture a GOAT conversation. That is it, man. Am I petty? Yes. Is it juvenile? Yes. Do I care? Fuck no. All right? I'm honest. You got me. You feel me? That's it. I just didn't want to hear this bullshit GOAT conversation. And today, that conversation is over for the foreseeable future. And I love it. And the reason why I didn't want to see that GOAT conversation is because, and I talked about this on the pod before, nobody actually wants Tom Brady to be the GOAT. So they are trying to push Mahomes into that conversation prematurely. Not saying he does not deserve to be in the conversation. Not saying he has not accomplished incredible things. He has. But the real reason behind it is because nobody actually believes Tom Brady isn't the GOAT. He had to beat it out of everybody. Because he doesn't throw the ball the fastest. He doesn't run the fastest. He's not Lamar Jackson athleticism. He doesn't have Josh Allen's size. It doesn't really make sense for him, the guy that looks like that, played like that, to be the GOAT. So you don't actually want to give it to him. He had to come back down 28-3 before y'all said he was the GOAT.
Facts.
Facts.
That's when Herbie. That was when he got me. That was when I could no longer deny Tom Brady as a Dolphin fan, bro. I denied Tom as long as I could, Dolphin fans. I denied Tom Brady as long as I could. Cap.
Cap, man, welcome
Shout out
back,
to the
man. We
homie
ain't seen you, Cap, man. Hold on, man. Yo, you already know what time it is, man. Cap in the building, man. Shout out to Cap, man. Cap, one of the OGs, man, of the chat, man.
Yes.
But yeah, no, what you were saying, Rob?
No, man, like Herbie, look, it's funny that when we talk about this, right? Like you said, it seems like people, especially in this modern society with technology and social media and our phones, everybody's always looking for the next best thing, the next quickest thing, right? Just look at and just a small analogy here. Look at the dating market, right? Like the dating game is completely fucked now, Herbie.
Hey man, it ain't nothing but pissing it, boy. It's bad.
It's completely fucked. And
bad.
a lot of it, Herbie, is just the fact that we have reduced individuality to a swipe. Right? Now everybody thinks, I'll just keep swiping until I find the right one, completely ignoring the fact that each person you're swiping is a completely different three-dimensional being. Like we have reduced courting, we have reduced dating to just swiping in apps and hopping in DMs. So it's become low-hanging fruit in general, right? So you look at the GOAT conversation, Herbie. You look at the GOAT conversation, man, and people see Mahomes and how he started his career, how he's been to an AFC championship game every single year of his career, Herbie. People got to remember this about even Tom Brady's dynasty. Tom Brady has a 10-year void in terms of winning a Super Bowl. He got to a couple Super Bowls, but he had a 10-year void where he won. We have to see Mahomes' career play out. And when it comes down to it, Herbie, even if he would have won this Super Bowl, and I'm just being flat honest, even if he would have won, I wouldn't have called him the GOAT, right? Because it's just that having a three-peat on his resume would have made it would have been able to close the gap a little more. Now,
Absolutely.
Herbie, Patrick Mahomes got Peyton Manning, and he's gotten Peyton Manning twice, right? Like, it was one thing to get Peyton Manning, and when I say Peyton Manning, that's just what I refer to the ass kicking he took to the Seahawks, right? That's what I called it when I thought that the Atlanta Hawks were going to do it. I mean, the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons were going to do it in that Super Bowl against Brady. I thought that was finally going to be Brady's Super Bowl blowout. It wasn't. Tom Brady's been to 10 Super Bowls, Herbie. This man has played in 10 Super Bowls. He didn't win them all. He lost 3, and all of them were one-score games, Herbie. Tom Brady never went to a Super Bowl and got his ass kicked. And the one Super Bowl he was getting his ass kicked, he made the comeback. And it was funny, Herbie. I saw you say something on social media that I didn't see. That I saw you mention something on social media when you said, in one of the sports groups we follow, you said something along the lines of, Mahomes, this is your 28-3
moment.
This is your 28.
If you want to be the GOAT, you have to do it now, right? Like, and let me get some comments from Cap. Philly had the blueprint. They absolutely have the blueprint. That's it. That they got the code for everybody to see. Are you able to actually? Can you guys do what they do, which is draft smartly? That's it. Stick to the plan. Build your offensive line. Build your defensive line. Worry about everything else afterwards. That's the blueprint. Is everybody gonna do it? No.
Nope.
And 5 Super Bowls in 7 years. That's incredible. The problem is the guy that he's chasing already done that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point, Cap. Listen, this is not at Mahomes. Mahomes is incredible. Mahomes is phenomenal. Mahomes is box office. He is somebody that I would literally pay to watch. He's one of those special dudes. This has nothing to do with Mahomes himself. It is the manufacturing of a conversation that he doesn't belong in yet. And this is somebody who says he's already the second greatest. I already have him over Joe Montana.
No, well, here's the thing too, Herbie. Here's the other part of it too. Mahomes is so ahead of his contemporaries that you can only really compare him to the greats now.
That's it.
Because at the end of the day, Josh Allen has not done enough. Lamar Jackson has not done enough. Joe Burrow got to a Super Bowl and lost.
And he was bad in it.
Exactly.
And he was bad in it.
And he was bad. And then you have Jalen Hurts, Herbie, who, listen, he won the Super Bowl, Herbie. Shout out to him. Because of the team that he has, he may even get another crack at a Super Bowl. But I don't get, like, it can't be Jalen Hurts competing with Mahomes, Herbie, in terms of the great quarterbacks of this era. right? But there is no Mahomes right now in terms of the guys in this league. None of them are in his league. So we have nowhere else to compare him but to Joe Montana and Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning. And even then, Herbie, like you said, I, I mean, can you really make a case for Joe Montana over him? Like, can you really make it? Like, I guess you could, right? 4-0, he didn't lose a Super Bowl, yada yada yada.
And if you don't want to have him over there, if you don't want to have him over Joe Montana and say he got to have 4, I'm cool with that, right? Like, I'm cool with that. I think he's a better player than Joe Montana, but that's neither here nor there, right? That's irrelevant. The reality is Joe Montana never lost a Super Bowl. Joe Montana never threw a pick in the Super Bowl. 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 4-0.
Incredible.
Right? Pat has 2 losses. Pat has been to more, he's had more chances to win more Super Bowls than Joe Montana. He had 5 opportunities. He won 3 out of 5. If you want to keep him away, if you got to say he's behind Joe, that's fine, whatever. That's even more reason why we shouldn't even have the conversation about Tom Brady. Because you got people that saying he shouldn't even skip Joe.
Right.
The thing is, when it comes to Tom Brady specifically, though, and again, it's not really about Mahomes. It's the reason why people want to replace Tom Brady so fast. The dude's body is still warm. He just retired 3 years ago, bro. Let the man have his GOAT. Like, let him have it, bro. Like,
and he's becoming a damn good commentator too, man.
Like, MJ had a decade, almost 13, 14 years before we had serious conversations about LeBron being the GOAT. He got to wear it for a long time. Joe Montana got to wear that title for a long time. Tom Brady just retired, man. Like, let him have it. If Mahomes gets 6 or 7 Super Bowls, then we can say, you know what, Tom, you had your run, bruh, but he hawked you down.
Mm-hmm.
He hawked you down.
Fact.
That's why people were saying they had to create an argument. Oh, Tom Brady never had a three-peat because they couldn't do the Tom Brady never went undefeated. They lost. So they lost that argument this season when they lost to the Bills. So this is all they had. Because Tom Brady beat them twice. Beat them in the conference championship game. Beat them in the Super Bowl. Beat them in both conferences. I beat you in the AFC. I beat you when I was on the other side. I beat you both ways. I blew your ass out. And then the game, I beat you on your turf on the road when you were favored. I was the underdog. And it took 3 straight 3rd and 10s to do it. It took me completing 6 straight 3rd downs to do it.
Yep.
So I done it. So I already got that on your head that I beat you when it matters. So you really gotta hawk Tom Brady down. Like, you have to hawk him down.
Yep.
A 3-peat shouldn't have made it to where y'all could say he's the GOAT, in my opinion. And again, is it petty that I did all of this? Yes. And I loved it. I slept like a baby last night, Rod. I slept so good. I slept so good, man. It was so worth it. I sacrificed my morals for the greater good, in my opinion, dog. And I'll do it again. All right? I'll do it again because it got insufferable to hear a fake argument, not because y'all truly believe Pat Mahomes is the GOAT. And again, if you want to say Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback you ever seen, I ain't going to hear you argue. The talent, what he could do on the football field, he is a one of one. That is a different conversation, though. Greatest and best are 2 different. Tom Brady is the GOAT for a reason. Just because he didn't throw the hardest, run the fastest, look the biggest, and wasn't the strongest, doesn't mean you guys get to take that away from him. He earned it on the football field. That's the whole point. And the reason why another argument that he has over Pat Mahomes is Tom Brady has never been bad in the Super Bowl. He's been mediocre once, and that was in the first game against the Giants. Every other game, he was not bad. If you want to take the first Super Bowl, fine. He was just a really good game manager. Tom Brady has 3 of the top 9 passing yard performances in the Super Bowl. He's number 1, he's number 2, he's number 9, and he's number 15. He has the passing yards record. The shit that, and this is another one that really bothers me, dog. They want to give Pat Mahomes credit for getting his ass kicked against the Bucs. People say that's one of the best games they've seen a player lose ever. They lost, nigga. He put up 9 points. Stop it.
That is crazy glazing, Herbie. Like, no, who the hell bigs up a moral victory, especially for the Super Bowl? Win,
Like, I
win.
hear people say that's the best play I've ever seen in a loss. Like Tom Brady didn't throw for 505 yards against the Eagles when he was down 2 offensive linemen, when he lost Brandon Cooks, when he lost Rob Gronkowski
Man
in
had
the
Chris
game.
Hogan as his number one in that.
Chris Hogan was his number 1 receiver, and he
Come
threw for
on.
505 yards.
Man, come on, man. What y'all
Like,
doing, man?
that is the greatest performance in a loss ever in a Super Bowl. And they won't even give him that. They try to take that away from him. It's that the one where the guy put up 9 points. That's the best. Stop it, man.
And Herbie, Tom Brady had to go against his own coach. The coach sabotaged them. The coach sabotaged them. He sat Malcolm Butler, which is part of the reason why Nick Foles in that offense went fucking off. Like, Herbie, man, come on. Listen, y'all, I hate when y'all make me defend this, man, because I'm a dog. But god dang it, man. And shout out to Ken Mills, man, to the comment he made, because I wanna say something to what you said, Ken.
Absolutely, man.
You said Joe Montana was a bad man. I'm gonna give you the first time I ever actually watched Joe Montana, just years ago. This is back when YouTube first started showing all the old 80s and 90s Dolphins games. Let me tell you guys, the sad life of a true Dolphin fan. The amount of times I've gone back and watched old Dolphin games with Dan Marino in the 80s and the 90s, I won't even get into that. I know about games that I have no business knowing about. But the first time I seen Joe Montana, a game where I watched it entirety, was the Super Bowl, where the Dolphins went to face the fucking 49ers. And let me tell you something, Herbie. It is funny. When I watched that Super Bowl, Herbie, all I could think to myself was, oh, Joe was Brady before Brady, because that's what he looked like. Like, I felt like I was watching Tom Brady in the 80s, Herbie. That's what watching Joe Montana made me feel like the first time I seen him. I watched plenty of his other games, some of the playoff games against the Cowboys. I watched a playoff game in 93, the wild card game when he's with the Chiefs against the Dolphins, which is a great game. Herbie, I've watched a ton of Joe Montana games now. But to Ken Mills' point, he was a bad man, Herbie.
He was a bad man. And who's from California, who grew up idolizing Joe Montana? Tom Brady. So that's why Tom Brady patented his game after Joe Montana. Patrick Mahomes patented his game after Tom Brady. He said, I didn't realize how good he was until I got into the league. Like, he was like, I realized, oh, that's what you have to be great at. Pocket maneuverability, pocket movement, dissecting, changing the line of the scrimmage, getting your team in the right play, checking your team out of the right place. It's the
fundamentals.
The fundamentals that don't show up. Like, we get wild because somebody could throw 50 yards off of one leg. Whoop de fucking do, bro. That's not going to get you 7 championships, man. You know what it is? Hey, if we in cover 2, do I have the right play to beat this? Yes or no? That's it. And if I'm doing that play after play after play after play, we're going to win a lot of games, man. And because of his style and because of his physical limitations, nobody actually wants him to be the GOAT. The fact that it takes Pat Mahomes doing this should enhance what you saw with him. That's the level that it takes. And that's the part that gets lost, and that's the part that drives me crazy, man. But we'll leave that before, I get revved up, man. God, I've been wanting to say this so long. Oh, my God.
You couldn't wait, bro. You needed the Eagles to win for this.
I needed the Eagles to win so bad. I wasn't going to watch sports for 2 weeks, dog. This would have been bad. Oh, it would have been terrible. All right, man. Any last things before we get to the Kendrick Lamar show?
Nah, man. I'm Gucci, man. I think we got a lot off. I almost forgot we were going to talk about that.
Oh yeah. We don't got to be too long. I'll let you go. I'll let you get in. Like, and to the people that's in the chat, me and Rob, we have had no conversations because we like to have like honest reactions to what the other person is thinking because it's more organic or whatnot. So I have no idea how Rod feels. Rod doesn't know how I feel. So Rod, what was your opinion on the show?
So funny story, man. I'll be dead ass honest with y'all. I actually missed like the first part of it because I had to, do it number 2. Your boy had to go, man. I had some pork that, you know what I'm saying? I had to come out. But overall, though, Herbie, from what I seen from the performance, I thought it was a good performance. I want to say something that I found interesting today, right? And I'm gonna get to what I really liked about it the most. Really, what the only reason why I was watching it. I'm gonna get to that. But what I found interesting the most about this, Herbie, was this is like two separate instances, right? I had my coworkers who are largely Hispanic, and then I had my clients who are Caucasian, right? And I'm just gonna say, when my clients were talking about it, I was working, I was eavesdropping a little bit on the conversation because they were just all having lunch and shit. And I listened to what they said. I wasn't involved in that conversation, but I was involved with the conversation with my coworkers. And what I noticed about this halftime show, Herbie, and this is what I basically told them Chicos, because basically what they were saying was they were just like, yeah, why didn't they go with somebody else? I wasn't really feeling Kendrick Lamar. And when I was listening to my clients today, when I was at a job site, they were talking about like how like, yeah, rappers aren't normally the best performers. Da, da, da. I was listening to what they were saying. And what I told my coworkers, Herbie, when we were talking about it this morning was, I said, well, I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all. This is just the way I look at it. I'm just gonna keep it simple. Kendrick Lamar made this for black people. This is what we did it. This is what we did it for. That's how I felt about watching it. The portions that I watched, that was one. Two, Herbie, the thing I really want to get to, the only reason why I even cared, obviously I like, Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite artists. Obviously, Herbie, we've done plenty of pods on the old pod, on the Couch Bros pod. We even talked about it on here. But Herbie, not like us, Herbie. Like, I had to watch him do this to Drake. I had to watch Kendrick not hold back. I had to watch. I was like, and even the way that he transitions to the song, where he has all the girls in the background go, yeah. Are you really gonna do it, Herbie? When I seen it, they did that. I was so hyped. And listen, I get it. It was the Super Bowl halftime show. It should be a show that everybody can enjoy. I enjoyed the hell out of it, Herbie, just because I got to watch the assassination of a man who's been getting assassinated all year, Herbie.
Yeah, man. The bag's been getting kicked in, man.
Herbie, Drake is the only person I could ever remember, Herbie, that has been killed and spared at the same time. Killed and spared, Herbie. Because let us not forget, in the height of this beef, Kendrick still had ammunition. He just didn't drop it because Drake, when he put that weak ass Heart Part 6, Kendrick was like, man, he done.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. Not Like Us was never supposed to be a hit. He dropped it on a random Tuesday, bro. Like, yes. He threw it, wasn't even mixed. He didn't even have it mixed and mastered, bro. He just threw it out. And it just caught. And it became this. And it won Grammys. It became an anthem. It became something that we remember for the rest of our lives, quite frankly. Now, with that said, my opinion on the halftime show, and it's going to seem like I'm going back and forth. So the people that's in the chat, the people that's going to watch, bear with me, because I am going to go back and forth because I understand two things that were at play at the same time. As a show, it was mid to me, right? And as a show, and this is from somebody who loves Kendrick Lamar. I love Kendrick Lamar. Like, I had to have the coming to Jesus moment that he is in my top 5 of all rappers, hip hop, period. He's one of my favorite artists ever. He made 2 of my favorite hip hop albums ever. He made my favorite personal hip hop album, It's a Pimp a Butterfly. And I know what he is capable of as a performer. Look at our video that we did last week or 2 weeks ago. I've seen him at the Grammys. One of my favorite concert movies is his Mr. Morale concert. I know that he does spectacle. I know that. I know that he's high energy. I've seen it. So this is where it gets kind of tricky for how I critique this. Because on one hand, it's a Super Bowl, dog. We don't got a big brain to Super Bowl, bro. Right. I ain't here to look at the themes and try to connect the dots and kind of catch all the metaphors. I'll do that for a video.
Uncle Sam is Uncle Tom.
Uncle Sam is Uncle Samuel L. Jackson. Ooh, bruh, it's the Super Bowl, dog. Yeah, I don't want to put my thinking cap on for the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is grand. The Super Bowl is big. The Super Bowl is about the theater, the theatrics, the fireworks, the lights. Lady Gaga jumped off of a stadium, man, at her Super Bowl performance, dog. That's what it's for. That's the whole point. So on one hand, it felt like a dude who's never done a Super Bowl before. The stage didn't feel big enough for a Super Bowl. The energy didn't feel big enough for a Super Bowl. It seemed like somebody who did the Grammys. That felt like a stage for the Grammys, or arenas. That felt like the stage for arenas. Dave Free, who is his creative director, is a brilliant mind. Super creative. Directs his videos. Is his photographer. Does all of that shit. They should have had somebody who's used to doing stadiums. There's a lot of space to fill. A stadium is big, man. The football field is 100 yards, not 100 feet, 100 yards. That is a lot, right?
Oh,
That
yeah.
is a lot. So if you don't fill it up, if you don't get all of the pyrotechnics and all of that shit, it could feel small. That's what happened. I know he's capable of doing that. So that leads me to my other point, which is why it's competing. He wasn't trying to do it big. He didn't want to do it big. The whole point was to make a message. And this is where he was ultimately right. And this is where he's always going to be right in a lot of things. Because if the point was the point, then he accomplished what he set out to do. Because everybody's talking about it. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody is going to revisit it. Damn, did I miss something? You feel me? You got people who don't want to like it, but are looking for a reason to like it. You have people who do like it, but are looking for a reason to not like it. You have people who are cool, but are forcing themselves to like it. You have people who think it's whack, but secretly think it's dope. You have everybody talking about this performance. And when you talk about it, you're going to spark a conversation. You are going to talk about, damn, did you catch that Squid Game reference? Damn, did you catch the Uncle Sam reference? Damn, did you catch that this is a black man saying he's not going to keep playing the game for the white man reference? There's a lot to discuss. So he didn't use his gifts as a live performer to the best of his abilities, and I think he did that on purpose. Now, that's not what I come for the Super Bowl for at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come for the Super Bowl for fireworks, dog. Give me some fucking fireworks, bro. I could get a video, man. Give me a video for you, it. But the thing is, a video doesn't reach 110 million people like the Super Bowl does.
Well, Herbie.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to throw this in there before I forget. This man's hatred for Drake is so strong.
This is abnormal. This is
Herbie,
abnormal, dog.
They had people who had flags with the A in the picture of two little kids, bro, on the flags. So it's like A minors. Herbie, how much do you despise a man for you to desecrate his name to the point where you design flags that resemble A minor, Herbie? What?
It felt like the whole show was just filler for what he wanted to do for the Not Like Us portion. Like, he didn't care about nothing else.
Yeah,
he got his message across, but all of that was filler. Like, if he could have performed. He would have performed that shit for 13 minutes straight, bro. Like that's really what it comes down to, dog. Like, if he could have, he would have performed that shit for 13 minutes straight, man. But yeah, so I'll see how it ages, because I know how it's gonna age. Like you said, it was 100% for black people, and that is bold to do that on the Super Bowl with the NFL, like with Donald Trump in the building. That is bold. That speaks to his character. That speaks to him having the nuts to use his leverage to do what he's always gonna do, which is speak to black folks. And he was right. Like I said, ultimately, I'm on the side of he did what he set out to do, which is to spark a conversation. And we'll see. Because opinions are all over the place. Everybody has an opinion about this shit. Right wingers, MAGA, black folks. Like, everybody has an opinion about this shit, dog. Like, it's crazy, bro. My favorite boomer opinion I saw was, I didn't really like the rap stuff, but it was nice. He was patriotic. That's the funny part. Like, he's masking the patriotism by making fun of people. Like,
oh man.
All right, man. Any last words, man?
Well, Herbie, another football season in the books, man. It's been a fun ride. I'd like to thank you, obviously. I'd like to thank all of our newfound subscribers, the old school subscribers, all of our people, all the people part of the PHIN Outta community, man. We are entering now officially the off-season phase, man, where we're gonna talk about free agency coming up, the draft. We're gonna have, fun little topics to talk about, man. And we want y'all to be in on this, man. And we wouldn't have got here without y'all, man.
Absolutely.
Much love, man. Much love.
Much love to everybody. Much love to you, Rob. Much love to the community, man. We are growing. And shout out to Ricardo, man. Thank you for being in the chat with us, man.
Ricky!
Man, everybody, man. Everybody in the chat, man. Showing love, man. So we will see y'all next week, man. Deuces.